Welcome.
Coach, I want to start off. Your defense was impressive today. Shutting down the third highest offense in 3A.
Yeah.
What was the game plan coming in and shutting down that offense?
It was not an easy game plan because for what they do offensively with number 5 at quarterback, that's a challenge. And I think the kids would attest that. It was a very long week, a lot of grueling hours, a lot of stress. By far the most stressful week that we've had all season. And it's tough to neutralize them. And I think as good as 5 is, it's that offensive line and their push. I mean, they get that push, and then you got 6 back there kind of kicking and leading the way. They're tough. And then on top of that, you got to get prepared for their spread offense. You got to get prepared for some of their 21 and their 10 personnel stuff. So, a lot of hours, I think, would be the key to, preventing them from doing what they typically do and grinding it out, and especially in the third and fourth quarter. That's where they made their hay at this year. So, just super proud, but I'm always proud of those guys, win or lose. I think the thing that's the most gratifying is their work ethic from really Saturday to Thursday. We kept them long, and I think those kids would have gladly stayed till 10 o'clock at night if we needed them. And I think that's just the all-in mentality that I have, especially with all these kids up here that were huge contributors last year. So, I'm just happy for them. This was an us victory tonight. And what I mean by that is, winning that trophy last year was so special, and it was for all the kids that came before it. It was for the community. It was for everyone that really helped lay brick in, everyone that laid that foundation for our success. But I think this year, this is for these guys. I think this was specifically in my mindset for these guys because, again, I over-romanticize my guys, and I always do that, but I also think there's some validity to it because I think these guys do everything the right way. We're not perfect by any means, but I'd be hard-pressed to find a group of seniors and a team, that has more character, more grit, more determination, toughness than the gentleman sitting right before you.
Matt, last year, Quinton accounted for all the touchdowns in this championship game. Braden factored into every touchdown today. Was that something that you saw in the game plan going in?
Oh, we knew we'd have to run them. I think Braden knew that. I think we preached about it all week. We knew they were going to be very stout defensive line-wise. We knew it was going to get hard to get pushed inside. We thought we'd have the perimeter, and for the most part, we had. And again, it's the same old story. I get the question asked all the time. When we put 2-5 at receiver, they usually dedicate 3 over 2, and when they do that, you've got the numbers to run the box. And I think that's the key about us. Gedekoh catching touchdown passes. Quinton doing his thing, Braden doing his thing. I'm fortunate that when we talk about a collective and a team atmosphere and a team chemistry, that is the standard. And of course, we want to get this guy the ball as much as possible, but sometimes when you put him on the perimeter, teams are going to key on him, and that's going to free things up. And we knew we wanted to get an extra blocker at the point of attack, and that's when you run the quarterback. So, we kind of wanted to take a little bit of what Avonworth does to a certain degree, and we haven't ran Braden much since week 4. So we knew that we were going to have to rely on him, not for big splash plays in the run game, but for those third down, stick-moving scenarios, and obviously he did his job on that.
How comfortable have you become being the decoy sometimes in this offense? How comfortable are you being the decoy in this offense?
I'm very comfortable. My teammates, when I'm not doing my thing that I usually do, I know my teammates going to have my back. They're going to get the job done regardless. They work just as hard as me throughout practice. Like Coach said, throughout the whole week, they've been, just preparing themselves for this game and for this big-time opportunity. So it doesn't really affect me at all. I just play my part.
And I think that trophy is more important than statistics and accolades. I think all those guys will attest to that.
Yes, sir.
What did you see on that fourth down play in the first quarter where you were in the backfield immediately flipping the guy under center up in there?
Oh yeah, as soon as I saw the ball, as soon as I saw the quarterback bobble the ball, I knew I had a free shot at him. So hit him as hard as you can.
That's just Jake doing Jake things. That's all it is.
Jake, you're definitely a tough, hard-nosed runner, known more for your physicality, running between the tackles, but got wide open there for a deep ball from Braden. So how did that feel to, get wide open in the end zone at Heinz Field for a touchdown?
I've been here, 3 times now, and it's always been a dream to score at Acrisure Stadium, just watching the Steelers play. Big fan. It's awesome to score here.
Is that one where you're so wide open you're thinking, all right, just don't drop this? Or
Yeah. It's happened before in a very important game a few years ago, but Yeah, I know.
And we never went away from him. I told him this week in practice he dropped that ball, and what I say, you're going to catch it. I have most faith. We set that play up. We were waiting for it. It was a read option one where he snuck out the back for him. We haven't ran it all year. And so we kind of waited. It was, again, red zone, 1st and 10 situation, and we were able to do it. The tailback didn't actually do what he was supposed to do, but Braden still carried out an air fake, which was enough for us to be able to get Jake wide open, and, that was a huge thing. And then how about Anthony Cruz with his receptions in the passing game? When Q was in the backfield, they kind of bounced more up, and they went man coverage on our 2 receivers. Adam was out there and caught that slant. So, again, that's what it is. You take what they give you, and if they key on one kid, we have the guys. I said it all week. I've said it all year. We have the guys that I think we can go to if they're keen on one guy, and that showed tonight, I think.
Matt, talk about the way your secondary played tonight, because it looked like Bellinger, he'd go to his first read, wasn't there, second read wasn't there, and then he'd be under pressure and have to throw the ball away or get sacked.
Coming into this season, I've said it over and over again, the strength of our team to me was our secondary, and with that being said, really our linebacking core. That was the strength of my team on paper. And we've been like that all year. We had a little bit of a hiccup week 4. Jake didn't even really play in that game, and Jake's such an X factor on defense that, we kind of felt that. But I think the kids took the Elizabeth forward game, even though we won 49-28. I think they kind of took that personal because we had kind of 2, I don't know if you call them blown coverages, we just had 2 mishaps in the secondary. And I think that really kind of got under the skin of our coaches and kids. And I think they kind of took that personal a little bit. And I think they ratcheted it up. I think that we were great from a corner standpoint, a safety standpoint. Adam might not get all of those accolades with pass breakups, but again, he's that kid that puts that hat in the box. And, I don't know if I've ever had a safety as good as him at doing it. So he's there, especially this week, was key to clean it up, because if 5 snuck through a couple different crevices or cracks, because everyone knows we got our linebackers are lean, but they showed tonight that speed kills sometimes. So, if 5 was able to kind of sneak through a crack or 2, Adam had to clean that up, and that's what he's done for 2 years straight.
You mentioned Adam having a big game. Adam, I want to ask you and let you know, Avonworth's coach, Duke Johncourt, he had high praise for you. He said he thinks you're actually the best player on this team. How does that feel to hear that coming from the opposing coach, and after putting such a great game here in the championship?
Yeah, so when we were going through the handshake line, he stopped me and said those same words. And, he seems like a great guy. And, to hear that coming from another coach it's kind of big, because like you said, I might not get all the statistics in the world, but it's good to feel like somebody's noticed. You know what I mean? And so as long as I can just do my part and do what I need to do to get that trophy, then that's all that matters to me.
For whoever wants to answer up there, Coach really challenged you guys after the East Allegheny game. He said he wanted you guys to take this personally. He mentioned how this trophy, the first one was for everybody else, this one's for you guys. How did you guys respond to his challenge, and how personally did you guys take this one and go back to back?
Especially we didn't win since '95, so all the teams that got here to Hines and didn't win it, that one was for them. But yeah, like you said, this one was definitely for us, because our senior season, this was our year. We've talked about it since we were younger, and this one is definitely for us.
Coach, I know he's committed to play the next level at a different position. Can you talk about his development as a quarterback over the years?
Yeah, again, I'm partial to my guys, but I don't think he gets the recognition and credit he gets from a quarterback standpoint. He can make every throw that you ask him to make. And then when you mix in the running, I think at Belle Vernon we always pride ourselves that we're going to have kids that can run the football at the quarterback position. It goes from Mikey Fine to Jared Hartman to Devin Whitlock. They're all different in how they do it and how we accomplish it, but we do it. And he's right there with all those kids. And so, he's just a big body that's athletic. And you can see why, Eastern Michigan is just salivating to get him up at their facility. But I think everything is so. He gets the respect from a defensive end standpoint. There's no doubt about it, because of his play on the field. It merits it. I don't think he gets enough recognition at quarterback. And even some of the scrambles, their D-line was good. We knew pass protection was a big emphasis this week. And when he got flushed right and left, he made huge plays, drive-sustaining plays, or at least set us up so that we, weren't in a 4th and 13 or a 3rd and 20. So did it with his legs, did it with his arm. that's just what we expect from him. That's nothing new to us.
Speaking of scrambling, I think his biggest play might have been early in the game, a 3rd and 22. He runs for 23 yards. Braden, I just want to ask you, I mean, what feels the best, a pickup like that, your 3 touchdowns, or the sack, or the 4th down stop on defense making a big hit?
Definitely what feels the best is winning the trophy, but yeah.
That's a tricky one. I think the sack was pretty impressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm partial to that.
Sack was hard.
Yeah, I guess the sack, because on that run we didn't really convert to a touchdown, but I guess we just ran the clock down a little bit more, got the ball out of their hands. So.
And they kind of had that Newman-Goretti type of feel to it, because if you remember in the 4th quarter last year, he had that scamper down the sideline that kind of, put us in an advantageous situation at the end of the game. So it kind of reminded me of that one.
Matt, I know the game plan was to get everybody involved, but what if I would have told you Quinton won't get a carry until halfway through the 3rd quarter and you're going to win 26-0? Would you believe that?
Absolutely, because, I mean, that's just who we are. People in the outside can call it decoys, whatever, and I get it. Everyone wants to see this guy, you know what I mean? But, again, I can't stress to the point that our goal is to utilize and spread the field. Even though we're primarily a 21 personnel team and we like to run the football and be gritty with that, we're trying to get everyone to expand the whole field for us. So we have spread philosophies integrated with a downhill running approach. And again, sometimes when we're trying to get the ball to him in the passing game more than the running game. Because, I mean, if you look at him over the past 5 weeks, I mean, he's been explosive, dynamic on slant routes and things of that nature, screens. So, when you got Jake and you got Dalpahar in the backfield, and then you could put Cruz and Quinton on the perimeter, I mean, it's just, to me, it's such a tough thing to defend, and you got to pick your poison with it. And again, I can't stress this enough, and I know some people in the media will stress it. The kids don't care. The only thing they care about is being around each other. The only thing they care about is team success. And that's not coach speak. I truly tell you, that's not coach speak. That's who they are. And I have really great coaches that from day one emphasize that philosophy and that vision, and that has to be drilled. It has to be drilled. And that's the way it's been since we've been at Belle Vernon, ever since 2015. And I'm just lucky that I've got kids that aren't greedy, aren't selfish, and they just don't really care about it. And again, I address it all the time, but to answer your question, it wouldn't have surprised me at all.
You talked about finding room to improve from the Elizabeth Ford game. What can you say about the first half today, where you guys were leading 10-0 at the end of it, but it felt like there were still points left on the table there?
Yeah, last year we felt like there was points left on the table. But, I think this year we knew it was going to be a filling out process, because they're very diverse in what they do defensively. We didn't know if they were going to be 4-3, if they were going to stay 2 high, 1 high. We didn't know if they were going to go 4-4. They showed a little bit more 4-4 than we thought. Heck, we didn't even know if they were going to jump into the 3-4 package. So, we knew that it'd have to be a filling out process. And again, we knew that we'd have to put Quinton in our play side receiver and 20 personnel, our backside. I think the first quarter was really, we scripted it out to see how they're defending Quinton in 5 different areas. I mean, that's a big part of kind of how we do it. And we knew early on, like, they were dedicating the manpower to him. So we weren't really sexy or sophisticated on the offensive side of the ball, but when we lined up in our unbalanced formation that we were in a decent amount last year against them, we knew that we could hit the perimeter. And I mean, there's a couple big runs that Quinton had. I mean, the thing that impresses me the most is when we're trying to bleed the clock in the 4th quarter to win the game, and he has that, I think it was maybe like a 20-yard scamper, and what'd they do? He sits down, keeps the ball in play. Like, those are the things that are more impressive than receptions and touches. That's just heavy football play that propels you to win.
It seems like on 3rd and 4th down, the defense stepped up even big. I mean, just talk about what the guys were able to do in those situations where you needed to stop in those late down situations.
I mean, it's clutch. I mean, you have to have it. And again, I mean, think about it. The defense held this team scoreless. And to me, McKeesport's playing out that right now. I mean, that's probably the best team that we've played all year, and they deserve that acknowledgement. But I mean, I'd be hard pressed to say this team isn't out there right with them. And we knew that. We knew that coming in. And I think that they had the momentum. They were very, I think every time that, and I don't really read articles or get online, but I think from just the clatter, it seemed like it was always about Belle Vernon to them from day one. And, that's not really our process, just because life is ironic and you can't look 12 weeks into the season. You just got to take each week step by step. And we didn't really emphasize it. And we knew this game would probably be there if we did what we needed to do and they needed to do, but we really tried to focus week to week. And the ultimate reward, as we say it all the time, is we get more football. And to be honest, from a selfish standpoint, that's more time I get to spend with them. And I think that's the neat thing. And I'm sure all the teams playing right now are like that. But, it's like a nasty habit that you crave. You crave to be in there with them on Sunday. You crave to stay there till 8 o'clock at night with those kids. Like, it might be a little bit messed up in the head that that's what you crave, but I think every coach was just, the whole message was, yeah, we want that, but we want more football. And so, we got another week extended to that, and that's another opportunity to be with these guys. And to me, that's pretty special.
Coach, you always started about talking quick. The Aubre's kickoff return. Yep. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better scripted
Very
start.
advantageous.
And then the other two big plays, the 62-yard punt, and then 3 plays later, Don Galani, who you've mentioned his play over the last few weeks, getting the safety. Yep. That's really turning momentum in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we felt if we could get up early, and I don't even know if we really consider 10 up much, especially with their offense, we felt like we could maybe control it a little bit. And we felt like from a philosophical standpoint, we might be able to kind of do what they want to do. Their MO was, and this is what we had to prevent, and that's why those third downs were huge on defense. They want to keep the ball away from our offense. They want to keep the ball. They want 6-minute drives. That's what they're tailor-made to do. And that's the scary thing about that Avonworth football team. Because in a blink of an eye, it's the second quarter, and you might have only got 3 or 4 snaps. So for us to go down and initiate that, which was great, because it gave us a little bit of breathing room, not a lot, but we didn't want to get them, we didn't want to put the ball in their hands a lot, because we knew they could bleed the clock and they could convert third and shorts like it was nothing, because they've done it all year. So those third down, fourth down stops were just instrumental to that. And again, the defense played really well.
All you guys up there, has it sunk in yet that you just shut out an undefeated team in a championship game at Acrisure Stadium? Because that's probably only happened a handful of times in the history of the sport.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. Like you said, it hasn't happened a lot. So to go out there and shut out the Avonworth team, it means a lot to not only me, but the rest of the captains up here too.
Yeah, especially means a lot when, they've been, like Coach Humbert said, saying stuff since the season hasn't even started and looking forward. And, to go out, shut them out, it really just, put them down.
Your coach was talking about not paying attention to the outside noise when you guys are tuning into what people have to say.
Yeah, we hear it, but it doesn't affect us. We see what they say, but we take it 1 week at a time.
It doesn't alter our
Yeah.
progression. It doesn't alter our week to week. We don't really, implement anything different with our process. We just let people say what they want, and there's a lot of negativity surrounding Belle Vernon for some reason or the other. And I'll be honest with you, I love it. I welcome it. In life, we're always looking, we always talk about what's your why. We always talk about how do you gain that little edge mentally, physically, in every aspect, man. All that negativity, that stuff, I hope more people do it. I think it makes you watch a little bit more film. It makes you push a little bit more harder. It makes me a little bit more edgier on them. So I honestly think it's great for us. I think it's an advantage for us because it doesn't allow my guys or my coaches to get comfortable. And our biggest motto is reject comfort. So, we're cool with being uncomfortable, and I'm not up here tough talking. I got kids that can handle it. I'm fortunate and blessed that I got these kids that can handle it. And how about my staff? I think we kind of talk a lot about the kids. Think about my guys that put in endless hours, and it was a stressful week. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't a great week, to be honest with you, in that regard. So proud of my staff, proud of my offensive guys that are just so in sync with everything and their manpower, proud of the defensive staff and how they, were able to operate and navigate through these choppy waters this week. And I'm gratified for the kids and coaches. I really am.
Quick question for Dane. How would it feel to be out there in the trenches in a physical, kind of run-heavy game and being the one helping pave the way for this rushing attack to get the win?
Week to week, me and my 5 guys up front come out and just repeat the same thing over and over again. That's our job. That's what we pride ourselves in doing, just putting our hard hats on, going out there and getting dirty in the trenches,
And this week the preparation was key. I think we all pride ourselves on preparation, any coach does, but we knew that the team that will win this game had to be the over-prepared team. And, like I said, what they do defensively, they show a lot of different deviations. And we knew that wherever he would go, there would be some type of wrinkle to that, right? We finally were able to kind of trigger man coverage from Quinton Lee and Avonworth, the 2-receiver set in our unbalanced formations, and that allowed Adam to catch that hell of a slant set up us right up in a first and goal situation, which was awesome. But you know what I mean? I think the kids were, prepared. You know, I'd like to think they're always prepared, but I think this was a big week in terms of preparation for all the magnitude of things that they do offensively.
I'd like to touch on the line. They definitely have it the hardest in practice. They're always getting yelled at. They're held to the highest standard, but without them, we definitely would not be sitting right here at this table with this trophy. I mean, everybody talks about our skill players, but I think they should definitely get the recognition right now because without them, we wouldn't be going anywhere.
You got DeWitt, you got Breyer, you got Levi, you got Heckle, you got Perry. We all need to go give Perry Riggle a hug. I think Perry feels the brunt of some of the coaching more than anyone else. So, you know, I'm very happy for a kid like that just does things the right way and just chops wood every day in practice. And to see him smiling, hoisting that trophy, man, it feels great. Yes, sir. Oh, good. All right, gentlemen. Thank you.
Have a great day.